Alex has been pretty down since the hospital, Natalie commented, slipping on a pink shirt. Well, what do you expect? Everyone's healing process is different. Some take longer than others, her husband Tom responded, handing her a vibrant bouquet of chrysanthemums. That's not the issue, Tom. She was so cheerful right after the surgery, but within a week, she became distant, stopped writing completely, canceled our meetups, and now she doesn't even want to celebrate her birthday. I'm genuinely worried that something's wrong with her and Nicholas, Natalie expressed, anxiety evident in her voice. Come on, don't jump to conclusions just yet, Tom said, planting a gentle kiss on her cheek and offering a reassuring smile. Why don't you go check on her? Natalie's concern for her friend was mounting. For almost a month, Alex had hardly been in touch, hadn't invited her to their usual Friday hangouts at their favorite cafe, and had been unresponsive to her messages. At first, Natalie thought it was just part of the recovery process, but as time passed, her worry grew. Today was Alex's birthday. Determined to brighten her friend's day, Natalie picked up a lovely fragrant bouquet and a selection of Alex's favorite sweets before heading to the dacha where Alex had been staying for the past week. Despite Alex's claim that she didn't want to celebrate, Natalie felt compelled to visit and bring her flowers. Arriving at the tall gate, she was greeted by Alex's husband, Nicholas, who stepped outside as she parked. "Oh, Natalie, what brings you here?" he asked, looking somewhat flustered. "Well, it's Alex's birthday, and I figured there would at least be some music or the scent of champagne," she quipped, trying to keep the mood light. "Ah, I'm sorry, Natalie, but Alex isn't really in the mood," he said, a hint of discomfort in his demeanor as he stood blocking her from entering the yard. "Not in the mood? She could be bored to tears by now." Natalie shot back, feeling increasingly awkward about being left outside like an uninvited guest. "She just hasn't been feeling well," Nicholas replied, avoiding her gaze. "So you won't even let me give her these flowers?" she asked, bewildered. She had always shared a close friendship with both Alex and Nicholas, so his reluctance struck her as puzzling and upsetting. "All right, come in. We didn't plan to invite you, to be honest," he replied reluctantly, finally allowing her to enter. As Natalie stepped into the cozy living room, she was taken aback to see Alex seated next to a dark-haired woman in a bright red dress. It was Zhanna, their co-worker of just over 6 months, who Alex had reached out to for friendship, and who had always been a bit shy but kind. "Hello, Natalie," Zhanna said, offering a tentative smile. "Hey, girls," Natalie replied, working to bring back her usual cheer as she approached the gingerly birthday girl. Handing Alex the bouquet and a gift from a large gray bag, she declared, "Happy birthday, sunshine. Always shine as brightly as you do." "Thank you, Natalie," Alex said softly, taking a seat with a detached demeanor. "So, how have you been?" Without waiting for an invitation, Natalie settled into a plush chair opposite them, her gaze fixed on Alex. She exchanged glances with Zhanna, who lowered her eyes, and it didn't sit right with Natalie. Both women appeared uncomfortable. "Nothing new, just the usual," Alex replied lazily, focusing on her nails. "When are you going back to work? Didn't they extend your sick leave?" Natalie pressed. "I'll be back on the 17th like planned," Alex answered quietly. The conversation faltered. Alex was hesitant to engage, and she didn't seem eager to ask any questions. Zhanna sat silently, typically more vocal, but this time she refrained from contributing to the dialogue. "Why aren't you celebrating your birthday?" the guest finally inquired. "Well, I just don't feel well. But Zhanna is here with you." "Oh, don't get me wrong," Zhanna quickly interjected, smiling at Alex. "I just came to congratulate you, like everyone else." Seeking validation for her statement, Zhanna glanced nervously at Alex, who remained silent. "Oh, so that's it. Well, since you came, you might as well stay," Alex suddenly announced, forcing a smile that felt remarkably unnatural. Nicholas was dispatched to the kitchen to prepare the festive spread. Moments later, Natalie and the others entered to find the table adorned with 2 salads, baked chicken, mashed potatoes, and an assortment of sandwiches. Clearly, Nicholas hadn't whipped up such a feast in just an hour. It was evident that the food had been prepped in advance. Perhaps the couple had planned for a quiet family celebration, or maybe they were expecting a surprise from their friends. However, the sheer volume of food suggested that Alex wouldn't have gone to such lengths for just the 2 of them. Linda arrived about half an hour later, having come to the department with Zhanna, and quickly merged into their small, friendly gathering. Both Zhanna and Linda were impeccably dressed, a testament to the time they'd spent in front of the mirror. In contrast, Natalie had opted for a simpler, more casual look. She hadn't planned on staying long, and assumed she would leave right after dropping off her gifts. The other 2, however, clearly anticipated a longer evening. "Alex, are you okay?" Natalie asked casually when she found herself alone with her friend. Alex had been tense throughout the evening. At first, Natalie speculated it might be due to her husband's presence, but even after he left for the store, Alex remained tightly wound. The lack of other girls didn't seem to ease her usual chattiness. "What's wrong?" Alex replied a touch sharply, though she quickly regained her composure to offer a light smile. "You seem a bit on edge," Natalie noted, searching for the right words. "No, you're just imagining it," Alex said nonchalantly, motioning for Natalie to join them at the table. Even after 2 bottles of champagne, the atmosphere hadn't changed. If anything, it had become more charged. The tension in the air was almost palpable, and everyone awkwardly fiddled with their forks while leaving most of the food untouched. Linda, the youngest in the group, succumbed to the drinks quickly, launching into some increasingly bizarre and off-color jokes. And yet, she began suddenly. "You weren't ashamed to come here today, on a day like this." Everyone's attention snapped to her, while only Natalie exchanged puzzled glances with the others. Out of respect for an old friend on her special day, Linda exclaimed. "Linda, not now," Alex said quietly, but her friend was only spurred on further. "And when should I? She showed up uninvited and acts like nothing is wrong." Now everyone was staring at Natalie, whose heart raced under the weight of their gazes, feeling like it might burst from her chest. "What's going on?" Natalie stammered, pressing her cold palms against her knees. "You're ungrateful. That's what's wrong," Linda shouted, slamming her fist on the table, her frustration spilling over. In that instant, Alex's face turned as red as a tomato as she grabbed Natalie's elbow and pulled her into the adjacent bedroom, closing the door behind them. "Alex, what's happening?" "You shouldn't have come, Natalie," Alex gasped, clearly frazzled. "What do you mean? You've ruined everything by showing up today." "What are you talking about? Can you please explain?" "I know everything," Alex suddenly shouted. "I know what you've been saying about me behind my back." "What?" "The girls and Nicholas told me everything. They said you've been gossiping about me." "Are you out of your mind?" Natalie exclaimed, taken aback by Alex's anger. "Yes, and how do they know about my past? Who told them all those little details about how I supposedly cheated on my husband? What kind of nonsense are you spreading while I'm not around?" "Are you out of your mind, Alex?" Natalie shot back, unable to contain her frustration. "Who told you such ridiculous lies?" "Well, Zhanna and Linda admitted it to me, and then Nicholas confirmed that you've been spreading idle gossip about me. We've been friends since childhood, went to school together, and even got married around the same time, and this is how you treat me." Natalie fell silent, unable to grasp the absurdity of Alex's accusations. She had never said anything of the sort to anyone. Yet the fact that her colleagues and Alex's husband had backed up these outrageous claims was truly devastating. No matter how hard she tried to convince Alex that it was all a misunderstanding, Alex only cried and continued blaming her for all manner of sins. Realizing there was no use in staying any longer, Natalie left. In the days that followed, she reached out to Alex multiple times, but her calls went unanswered. At work, Alex acted as if Natalie didn't even exist, which deeply hurt her feelings. She cherished Alex like a sister, and the thought of losing their long-standing friendship over this was unbearable. After 2 weeks of silence, just when Natalie had almost given up hope, Alex's name flashed on her phone screen. When Natalie picked up, it was clear that Alex had been crying for quite some time. Her voice was shaky and worn. "Nicholas, how could he?" she sobbed. "Natalie, please forgive me. I shouldn't have doubted you." Natalie insisted they meet, and half an hour later, they were sitting together at her home. Tom, her husband, took a seat across from the tearful Alex and kept offering her glasses of water. "Nicholas cheated on me," Alex choked out. "And with whom?" "Zhanna." As it turned out, Nicholas had been secretly meeting with Zhanna ever since she joined their circle. He dismissed his late-night outings as work emergencies. When Linda found out, she chose to protect Zhanna since they were old friends, worried that Natalie, being close to Alex, might eventually uncover the truth. "I did notice some strange coincidences before," Natalie remarked with a wry smile as she listened to Alex's unfolding story. "They probably saw me as a threat." Now that the truth was out, Alex felt immense gratitude toward Natalie for not giving up on her. Alex eventually divorced Nicholas and moved in with her parents for a while, feeling embarrassed about having doubted her friend. But Natalie assured her that she held no grudges. In the end, Natalie said, "It's not about making mistakes. It's about having the courage to make things right."